She was a widow. Twice. Forgotten by the family that was supposed to protect her, condemned by the man who had failed her, dragged toward death for a crime she committed only because justice had already collapsed around her. The world saw a desperate woman with nothing left to lose. But God saw something else. He saw a mother of kings. This is the story of Tamar, and once you understand it, you will never see waiting, betrayal, or broken promises the same way again.
Before we begin, let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever waited on a promise that never came? Have you ever honored your commitment only to watch someone else break theirs? Have you ever been judged by people who never admitted what they did to you? Then you already understand more of Tamar's story than you realize. Tamar is not a side note in Scripture. She is not a mistake in the margins of Genesis. She is one of only 4 women named in the genealogy of Jesus Christ in Gospel of Matthew. 4 names, 42 generations, and Tamar is the first. That is not an accident.
Tamar was a Canaanite woman, an outsider, yet she was chosen to marry into the family of Judah, the 4th son of Jacob, whose tribe would one day produce kings. She married Judah's firstborn son, But Scripture says simply, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and God put him to death. Just like that, Tamar became a widow, young, foreign, childless, alone. She had done nothing wrong, and her story had barely begun. In that culture, a widow like Tamar had protection through something called levirate marriage. Judah told his second son, Onan,
"Listen to me, Onan. You know what must be done. Go in to your brother's wife and perform your duty."
Onan agreed, but only outwardly. He took what benefited him, but he refused to give Tamar a child, and God saw it. He too died. Now Tamar had lost 2 husbands, both in Judah's house, both because of their wickedness, not hers.
Twice.
But in the eyes of the community, she must have looked cursed. Judah had 1 son left, Shelah, and he said to Tamar, "Go live as a widow in your father's house until my son grows up." So she waited. Years passed. Shelah grew up, and Judah never sent for her. The promise was broken. She had been forgotten, deliberately, quietly, completely. Tamar heard something. Judah's wife had died, and he was traveling to Timnah for sheep shearing, a public festival. Something shifted inside her. She realized Shelah was grown, and she had been denied. So she removed her widow garments, covered herself with a veil, and sat along the road to Timnah. When Judah saw her, he did not recognize her. He approached her, and Tamar did something remarkable. She said, "What will you give me?" Judah replied, "I will send you a young goat." But Tamar answered, "Give me a pledge until you send it." "What pledge?" he asked. And she said, "Your seal, your cord, and your staff." His personal identification, irrefutable proof. Judah handed them over, and Tamar conceived. She removed her veil, put her widow clothes back on, and returned home. She now carried what had been denied her for years, the continuation of the covenant line. 3 months later, word reached Judah. Tamar is pregnant. She has played the prostitute. Without hesitation, Judah declared, "Bring her out and have her burned." No trial, no memory, no reflection, just judgment. As she was being brought out, Tamar sent the items and a message. "I am pregnant by the man who owns these. See if you recognize them."
silence. Judah recognized the seal, the cord, and the staff. And then he said words few powerful men would ever say. She is more righteous than I. In that moment, the condemned became vindicated, the judge became exposed, and the sentence died. Tamar was spared the punishment he had intended for her. She lived, together, but not as husband and wife. She gave birth to twin sons, Perez and Zerah. From Perez came a lineage that moved quietly through generations until it reached Boaz, Ruth, David, and from David's line came Jesus Christ. When Matthew recorded the genealogy, he wrote, Judah, the father of Perez and Zerah, whose mother was Tamar. He did not have to name her, but he did. The forgotten widow became a mother in the lineage of the Messiah. Tamar's story teaches us that God does not forget who people forget. Waiting is not abandonment. Broken promises by people do not cancel God's promises. And righteousness is not about titles, it is about the heart. As it says in 1 Samuel, the Lord does not look at the outward appearance, but at the heart. If you feel overlooked, if you feel misjudged, if you feel like you have waited too long, remember Tamar. God was not done with her, and He is not done with you.
If Tamar's story touched you today, don't scroll away just yet. Tell us in the comments what part of her journey felt most like your own. And if you want more powerful stories from Scripture told like this, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because some stories aren't just history, they're reminders that God is still writing.